National Cybersecurity Conference 2026. I respected Honorable Justice S.S. Sundar Sir, Thiru Revant Charan MLA, Thiru Sami Singh Meena IPS, Dr. Kaliraj Naidu Sir, Mr. Anirudh Balaji, Mr. Mukund Chandrai, distinguished delegates, fellow educationalists, teachers, students, team from the police department, ladies and gentlemen, Anevarakum Vanakkam. It gives me an immense pleasure to share dais amongst such eminent people of the society. But what is an owner of a travel company doing in a national cybersecurity conference? It's a million-dollar question, correct? I could see our honorable member of parliament here. He's got great experience. At this age, stepping into the legislative assembly. Similarly, we have our Justice Sundar Sir with such an amazing experience. He's seen a lot of cases even before computers came into place. We have such an eminent IPS officer. He's seen equal amount of cases than a normal human being could have ever experienced. But what does this person who's visited 84 countries, who's in the national body of 18 countries, who's the chairman for Southern India Chamber of Commerce and Industries, who's a committee member of the hotel classification team, a person who is in the board of studies of 5 colleges in Chennai, doing in the National Cybersecurity Conference. I'll give you an insight. I own a company, a travel company that is here over 40 decades. We've seen paper tickets where people used to buy flight tickets using papers, handwritten. Then came typewriters, then came computers. Now people are using artificial intelligence to plan their own holiday. We had the privilege to handle the moment of ex-ministers, present ministers, also ministers from multiple countries who are entering India. We take care of their security protocol, their meetings, everything. I'll give you a slight experience of my own. This happened in 2022 when I was deputed to handle the ministers of 4 countries for the United Nations World Tourism Conclave happening in Maldives. So I was handling this particular minister from Malaysia. She was the tourism minister. It was a complete women-driven delegation. And when I was there, I went to a restaurant to eat. Immediately I got a call saying, "Sir, this restaurant doesn't have a CCTV, please come into radar." That is the level of security that people were having. Now friends, I'll give you another experience of mine where I traveled to China 12 years back. Okay, and me and a friend of mine who was working for the Indian Ministry of Tourism back then, we were walking in a street called Nanjing Street. Okay, so one of the most popular streets of Shanghai. So it's the electronic street of like Ranganathan Theru, and we were walking and his phone suddenly hits saying 25,000 rupees debited. Then again we were walking 35,000, we were just walking in the street. 25,000, 35,000, 40,000, 50,000, he's not knowing, he thought it's an old message that's coming. Quickly we stopped, we called the credit card company, he actually wanted to block it, 2.5 lakhs, 3 lakhs, card. And back then, we didn't know how this was going, and this money went from Korea, from Afghanistan, from Africa, from different places. But we are walking, his card is with him in his wallet. And that day we understood that was a technology called NFC. Back then, you just they're placing their systems on the pocket. And while we are walking, and that was something that blew our mind, how unsafe we were even to walk. So, card use pandrom. And that time somebody stealing our data, there is a way to, at least we'll take the blame. Just walking, we had such an experience was alarming. Similarly, as Sir had spoken, there are so many cases that we read in newspaper, correct? But we just pass on. We just pass on. Sometimes when there is a news, we share it to people, at least thinking, okay, there will be an awareness. But forgetting a fact, there was a victim inside also. So since I am the board of studies in 5 colleges, predominantly women colleges of Chennai, like Stella Maris and Etiraj, I tell my girls only one thing. Whatever it is, what whatever it is true, it is fake, anything, face it. Don't ever be scared. Don't ever be scared that somebody is trying to threaten you using this, because today we are living in an era like Adam and Eve. These clothes and all, we are just getting back to the Adam and Eve era. And the confidence, nobody can scare us. Because one thing that why I wanted to be here is, rather than me being invited as a guest, I wanted to learn also. First thing is, we are all illiterate on the tech part. We think we know everything, but we don't know everything. We haven't even explored 1% of the technology yet. Chat GPT, correct? But likely, what are we using for Chat GPT? Or photo edit or email, Chat GPT, please write me an email. Chat GPT writes an email. But that is not what Chat GPT is for. Now today, Claude has come into place. Claude is working. You won't believe, my office, we have some paid subscriptions from Claude that is doing the work of 3 staffs in my office. We give it a work, within 15 minutes it has to work. It does the work of, so andha technology is going, but how safe are we? We are still not educated. I think it is the major responsibility of such organizations such as the National Cybersecurity organizations to bring in this literacy of cyber attacks. I'm telling you, it might be scaring when people talk about all this, but I think it's high time we educate our youngsters. They should be aware of it, because when I was in Cuba, when I traveled to Cuba, I was bored. Because long travel, Cuba, it is below America. We talk about communism. We talk about Che Guevara, people wear t-shirts of Che Guevara. But when I was in, no fear in Poduanga. But while I was in Cuba, I had the opportunity to read books about all of them. And the Purachi truly I'll tell you, I could see the same thing that's happening today with Mr. Raman and Honorable Chief Minister here. They have created a revolution of youngsters. When he repeatedly says, we will not take money, we will have a clean governance, it's not an easy thing, because we've been working with government bodies. I'm taking a new car. I'll tell you, it's a real thing. And special number is sir, government fees, sir. I was surprised. Sir, Minister, I was surprised. And I heard from, we are also educationalists. My brother-in-law is the grandson of JPR. So they have schools, they have colleges and all. I'll be very frank, they are extremely happy saying, sir, unmele kaas vaangala, sir, idu PR account solla, sir, unmele avanga kaas vaanga irukanga. See, I'll tell you this type of governance, I could see this after what happened when Lee Kuan Yew took over Singapore. I write a book, I think shortly I'll be inviting all of them also. I'm writing a book on Lee Kuan Yew. He's one of my most favorite leaders. He was the one who said Singapore has to be treated with iron hands. The cases that he handled, how he brought Singapore to what it is today is because of this. One more thing I'll tell you, because we are in the cyber conference, I'll tell you guys. Today, Singapore has a law enforced in place saying if there is a scam or a fraud that happens, they have very severe punishments. This is openly, as a law it's come, if they have done. But unfortunately, somewhere I feel, because our justice also is here, somewhere I feel our law is complicated. I will not say it's weak. It's extremely complicated, because a justice delayed is a justice denied. I think sir was mentioning nobody's coming forward to complain. I think they're scared of the judiciary. Maybe they think, I've lost this 30,000-40,000, but when I get into legalities, maybe I lose more. Which means they are losing faith on our legal system, which is the reason why they are not complaining. Even I have similar experiences as such, not as a complaint, but I tell you, this judiciary system has to be more transparent. This is what I say, because we have system in place now. It has to be more transparent. We have to bring in that feel of, yes, the judicial system will help us. When that feel comes, I think people will come forward to complain rather than be scared of the judiciary system. Likewise, the police department as well. I think they've been doing amazing awareness programs. I think, sir, I invite you to all our colleges. Please do awareness programs, because the students would definitely need such programs of awareness to handle the cyber security, because it's going to be even more dangerous now. with AI coming into place, I'll tell you, you can't even know who is behind that because the AI is doing all that. So you cannot track who the person is behind that. But I think it's high time we create awareness, because that was a nice information sir had given about the portal that where we could check all our SIM cards and everything. I think the whole day we have educationalists and students from other colleges as well who are going to be well informed. I think this should be a start of a revolution in cybersecurity. Please take it to all colleges, please take it to all schools. I think somewhere we forget the young children are even more, they have the problem with these things because there are games, there are apps that's coming. In fact, I'll give you a very interesting thing because Mr. Raman is also here. One of our friend businessman during the election day, because we used to publish a poster saying please vote, okay? And this businessman friend of mine similarly created a poster with his company logo and saying please go vote today. And his 8-year-old son took the poster, went to WhatsApp, put TVK and posted in his status. And he was so surprised that those are the kids who are very well informed. So I'll tell you, the kids today that we think or what we were are not like that. They have access to so much of information today, and I think it's high time we bring in awareness to schools as well, tell them about how important it is handling cyber and internet. I think, thank you for giving me such an opportunity to talk to such nice people, and I'm wishing all of them, especially Anirudh Balaji, who had organized this entire thing, and his entire team for doing such an amazing work. Please do continue this, and I assure that I will be there with this and give my full support to it. Thank you and Jai Hind.